Oh, you're fine, you're fine. I got plenty of room.
We're live, people.
Now call to order this meeting of the Huntingburg Board of Public Works and Safety. Stand for the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's pray. Dear Father God, thank you for those board members that are here today and for their commitment to the city. And we ask today that the decisions they make can be for the benefit of all. Also be with those that are here today, and we thank you for our citizen activity in these meetings. And we ask now for your guidance today. In your son's name, we pray. Amen. As for a motion for approval of minutes,
Motion made.
I'll second.
got a first, second, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of claims.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Got a first and second on claims. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. First thing up, we have a special event application from, is anybody here from hometown? If not, I can cover that. It's a re-grand opening, as I think most people have known. I've been here to some meetings. There are new owners at Hometown Music, a local couple that moved here from Evansville that purchased that. They want to have a re-grand opening on October 3rd. I believe that's also the date of another event. Is that, but it's going to be on the other side of the street, so. Essentially what they're asking for, we're already shutting down, between right now Jackson and Maine for that event, but they're wanting some, read through it here. See what time they want that shut down.
It's 11 a.m. to, actually set up as 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. The event is 11 a.m. to 7:30.
Okay. And those will be because it's not the whole weekend, those would be the removable barricades along the street, taking from Shared Abundance going west to Geiger. The banquet property would remain open during that time. So they're going to have a grand reopening, play some music, have some picnic tables out there for food and that type of thing, but ribbon cutting and normal thing you would do on a grand reopening, I guess. Any questions about that? It'll be a fun block party, for that side of the street, and they do a great job with their music, and they've participated in other events even prior to moving here. So if nobody have an estimated attendance of 200 people, well, if there's no questions, I ask for a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Got a first, second, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. And we have, we have another event here, back to school event for, is this United Pentecostal Church?
New Life,
What's that?
New Life Church, yeah.
New Life Church, okay. If you'd like to come to the podium and introduce yourself or present your project, if they have any questions. I did have one question. I think that there may be, what street were you wanting to shut down?
It would be West Third.
Okay. Because we
Between-
have it wrong in here. It says Sycamore Street from Third Avenue to Chestnut, so you're probably looking at Third Avenue from Sycamore to Chestnut.
Yes.
Okay.
And I am Pastor Wood, so I'm pastor of New Life Church on the corner of Chestnut and West Third. And we are looking to do a back to school block party July 25th, 12 to 4, but we would request from 10:30 to 12 would be preparation set up. So it would be closed from 10:30 to 4 o'clock.
What homes would be impacted there? Would there
I
be-
believe there's 3 homes.
Have have we notified or spoken to the people in those homes, or have you personally?
Not yet, no.
Okay. What questions do we have here? I mean, that's was my biggest concern, was shutting off the 3 homes. Is we've done it before, you know, we do it for other projects, but you know, usually we have contact the people prior to.
Do those homes have access from the rear, from
Yeah.
the alley, you know?
I don't think so.
Wouldn't it be better to shut down Second Avenue rather than Third? Cause there's,
We want a couple less homes, probably. We have 1, right?
looks like it'd only be,
The one to the north.
well, if they just went up to like your driveway, you could. It would be simpler.
That would be fine with us. We would have no, yeah, we would have no disagreement with that.
So we'll change that to
Second Avenue.
Second Avenue.
Second
from
Avenue.
Chestnut to Sycamore.
Oh, doesn't it?
And you're the only tenant, I believe, on the south side of that street.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I don't see.
you still have access in the corner. You live there, so I'm looking at you up there. Okay.
They do.
All right. All right. So with that taken under consideration, any other questions from the Board of Public Works?
No.
All right. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
We have a motion to approve. We have a second on change of location on the street. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a great party. Superintendent, Jason Stamm.
Morning.
Okay.
Morning.
Any questions on the report? Anything on the report? If not, quick update, with the community crossing projects. I apologize to the public for the length of what this has taken to get this done, but it actually, you know, we had a week and a half there where it rained quite a bit, and, you know, it just a fault of nobody's, but, you know, Rudolph is doing the best that they can. They did come in, the first of this week, got all their stone placed. Their plan was, and I haven't made it out there today, but their plan was today to put all the base asphalt down on all 3 streets, Foxtrot, Short Fourth, and 8th. They were gonna put the base down today and then come back tomorrow with the surface to finish those streets up. If they didn't get done tomorrow, they would work on Saturday to finish those.
So
So
you
that's,
utilize the sub for their grinding, or
yes,
so?
and that plays, that plays into, some of it too sometimes. You know, when a contractor like that uses a sub, they obviously are at the mercy of that sub too sometimes. So that was part of it. They had to wait on a milling contractor to come in. So anyhow, that's kind of an update on that. Hopefully by the end of this week or come Monday next week, everything will be finished with that and back in order. I think Shelley did get you an estimate added to the board pack this morning. I just got it yesterday afternoon, so she did get it, I think, added there. It was an estimate from CalCar Paving to I know last week or last month at the meeting, it was addressed that, about the issue there in front of, the event center. So with that estimate you see there, I can leave it up to you guys as to what you want us to, the street department, to try to do with that. You see there, option one is basically milling 2 inches of asphalt out and put 2 inches of surface material back in there. That price is $6,760.30. Or we can do option number two, which is a full depth mill and patch. That would basically remove 5 inches of the asphalt that's there. Basically get us down to the stone or dirt, whatever's under there. And then put 5 inches of binder back. We wouldn't put base in there because I don't like leaving base open for a long extended time because it's big rock and it's porous and the water can get down through there. So we, talking with Landon Bagley with CalCar, we thought that binder would be the best to put in there. So you see the price there, that is $11,932.60.
So you know, there's one quote because they are doing that under our contract.
They're doing that under our annual bid, pricing.
What kind of life expectancy on the option one?
I'm not gonna sit there and tell you because of not knowing what's underneath of it.
Right.
You know, you might get a year, you might get 2 years, you might get 6 months. You know, it just kind of depends. You know, I mean, we've tried, like here, this last time we took off the material that was there and we've tried patching it back with surface when we do pothole patching and other utility repairs. We put some of that on there. It, you know, it looks good and stays for a while, but then it kind of crumbles up too.
Well, kind of give you the timeline with the federal grant that we have is that funds are to be released in late 2028 with construct available to us in first quarter of 2029. Obviously, we're not putting down any asphalt first quarter of 2029. So reality, we're looking at, we need something that's gonna last 3 years.
Summer 29 probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's to upgrade to the truck traffic.
Yes, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. And
Truck
that- and-
traffic in a main thoroughfare when the trains come. So
Yeah, truck traffic is the thing that's obviously, you know, destroyed it, you know, to this point.
if we're gonna do anything, I think the full depth.
Well, that's
That's
what it sounds like to me too.
Yeah, because with option one, you're not finding out what's underneath it, are you?
No, you're only going down 2 inches and the option two, you're going down 5 inches is basically getting rid of all the asphalt that's there.
We do have core drillings that tell us what's underneath, so we do.
Yeah, as far as the dirt and that type of thing. You know, and then we talked about that we could go up there and I think this patch was like 70 or 80 foot long and like 15 or 17 foot wide. It's basically the whole width of the lane.
Right.
And going basically to the driveway for the event center back like 60, 70 feet, whatever. We got it marked off. So yeah, I mean, it's for longevity, yes, option two is obviously you're better, you know.
How quick before they can get to it?
It'd probably, he told me it'd be towards the end of the summer. Because that's how far, or, you know.
That's why I figured they're getting busy right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, when I did this, I had him look at some other paving projects in town, water line repairs that were bigger than what we can handle.
Right.
So it would be something that they would do like all of these when they come. So. I mean, I'll push for him to do it as soon as I can, but you know, we can only do so much with that too, because obviously all of them are getting busy right now, this time of the year. So, I mean, we can keep plugging away, doing what we're doing with it right now. You know, as we get extra or leftovers, we're gonna try something new this next time. We've got some, liquid there at the office that, we're gonna try to put that down before we put the asphalt on top of it this time. It looks like it, now what's happening is that asphalt's just laying on top of the others and then it slides. And we're gonna try to put some tack down to try to help hold it there the next time, but that's not the answer to.
I
long
really
answer
expect
for
that
it.
estimate to be closer to 20, so I was a little surprised, but.
So you guys tell me what option you want to go and that's what, how I will proceed with it.
I would make a motion on option 2.
I'll second that.
We have first and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right.
Okay, I
Thank
will
you.
pass that on to CalCar and have them put that on their schedule as soon as what they can. I applied for, and this one, Phil can attest with this one because he's been helping me with this. We applied for a grant through a company, and I have to be careful because the company that we were awarded this grant. But the company that we got it through doesn't want us to release it to the public yet. They've got a date of, I think it's June 24th or something like that. It's a nationwide grant.
It's well-known
Okay.
not-for-profit, so.
Yeah, and it is. But anyways, we applied for a grant from them that is kind of in response to the SS4A grant that we got. It kind of ties it all together. So this was kind of like a safety thing that when we applied for this. And what the grant covers is, it's called a radar speed sign. I know you've probably seen the little signs that we have that we attach to post, two of those around town. This is the same type of thing, but only it's on a trailer. It's mobile. It does a lot of things. You can put words on it. Like if you have a water leak, you can pull it to there and say road closed, lane closed. There's a lot of things that you can do with this outside of just the speed. And then it also will record traffic counts. It will also record speeders, not license plates and things like that, but it will tell you, like if you set it somewhere, and I'll get with Chief Kramer, where we won't like to set it, but we can set it there and it will tell him or his officers that, hey, from 3 to 4 o'clock on Chestnut Street, you have a lot of speeders. So then he will be able to just dispatch speeders to that, or to police officers to that area. So basically I had an agreement. I think, is that right, Phil, what that was I sent you?
There was a number of other, I don't have that agreement in front of me, but there's a number of other requirements that we would be required to meet, and you've indicated that they shouldn't be a problem. There are,
Right.
some public notifications and.
Yeah, it's just part of the grant that they want us to do. And once, it'll be a lot easier once we can announce who it is, who the company is. And I will do that next month as soon as we're allowed to do that. And they're going to have a big release thing that they do. There was,
So do we need a motion to accept the funds and purchase? Make the
yeah, I
purchase?
guess.
Yes, accept the grant if awarded for the purchase of that piece of equipment.
Yeah, I had a recorded video this past week, thanking them that they'll air too. I don't know where they're airing it at, but it is a well-known, reputable organization. In fact, I'm a member, so.
I am too.
Most people over 55 are, if that helps you.
Easy, easy. But anyhow, it's the grant basically covers the price of the machine or the trailer, whatever you want to call it. There is a yearly subscription that goes along with it that the street department would pay for that. But that was kind of in applying for that grant, we had to have some sort of a match. So that was kind of our match was, we said that we would pay the, like, $1,200 a year for the service, basically. So. Any other questions on that?
I guess the question would be, do you and Chief think it's worth the money to do that?
I do. I mean, I don't know, I don't want to speak for him, but
I could see utility departments utilizing that too, or special events even.
yeah, I mean, you can put it out there on the highway that says 4th Street's closed. There's a lot of different options that you can use the billboard part of it for.
We could steer people to other locations, alternate routes or something. too,
Yeah.
so.
It's basically, it was about $18,000, I think, is what the grant was for.
Put it 6th and Main when there's a train, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There.
Okay, I would make a motion to accept the grant because I can see this being used.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Last thing that I have, obviously is 4th Street. We've talked about that and talked about it. Is there any questions or anything that we need to discuss so that we can try to move forward with this and
Yeah, I want to preface a little bit of this today, just to let you know, any state funds, CCMG, those type of things cannot be used on brick streets. So this has to be utilized, with other local funding. Right now we have, this always catches the eye of our clerk's office, but in our endowment, we have $139,902. We have some cumulative capital fund and a couple other funds that could possibly be used. I don't think we should ever touch rainy day. That's really for emergency, and it's not because there's not a method of replenishing those funds. Once we use them, they're gone. And I think that those have to be utilized more for emergencies, but that total is going to be not much over 400,000 that would be available. So anything we approve today that's more than that, we'd have to have a plan of how we're going to fund that over. And it's not going to happen this year or next year. And we can't apply for community crossings funds or anything like that for Rick Street. So those are the options where you're at. I also like to say, this isn't a real formal public hearing, but I know we have some merchants from 4th Street and other residents here that if anybody has anything that they want to bring up today, give you an opportunity to speak. I know we did have a couple of our board members that met with both the engineer and I believe Carrie was at the merchants meeting yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah. I was there the month prior and didn't have much to give them in April, but we had more information in May and there were a few questions there. Some people want to talk privately afterwards and that's fine. One merchant that's not here today or wanted me privately did have a preference of brick, didn't care what was underneath of it as long as it was brick. I've had a couple other people that just said they're okay with anything. So, and I will tell you this, it depends on what day you talk to merchants or you even talk to one of our board members. I think we've not been set. I don't think one of us have been set on one option from the beginning. So you talk to us one week and maybe a different answer that it's going to be different a couple of weeks after that, because as we gain more information and feedback. So I want to open it for feedback from anybody that in the audience, as well as board members that were in on those discussions. Anybody want to speak?
Well, I'll tell you where I'm at on it. And you're right. This is a hard decision. I mean, this affects a lot of people, a lot of businesses. It will affect us down the road. And it's a lot of money. No matter how you look at it. And at first I was pretty adamant that I think asphalt was the way to go. After some of the discussions with the engineers, I've discussed road with some people that have worked on roads for 40 years and streets. They've dealt with that kind of stuff. And I'm to the point now where we need to do it right this time so that we don't have to touch it again. I'm pretty solid on my thought right now that I think we need to put concrete under the pavers. I know it's a lot of money and it's tough to come up with. I think we might be able to work it out. Maybe we don't do it all at one time and do it over a time period. Just kind of spread the cost out. I really don't know, and that will need to be thought out as much as what we want to do is how we're gonna do it. I mean, it's kind of where I'm at right now. I've talked to the merchants yesterday, and I note the downtime is the big thing with them. In my conversations with Brandon from VS, he did point out, you know, when we did it the first time, there wasn't hardly any sidewalk or nothing available for anybody up there. At least doing it now, we have the sidewalk will be all open, and even walking through the parking spaces, if we need that, they'll be available too there. So there's a lot more availability. And I also get the thought is from talking with the merchants yesterday that I feel they want to have something done so we don't have to do it again. It's not the majority, but I get that from a lot of them. Let's do it right now so we don't have to do this again down the road.
Thank you.
Harry, is it possible for them to do one side, like the eastbound or the westbound?
I asked Brandon that, and I asked the same thing. Let's keep one lane possibly open while we're doing it. And even if you jumped east to west across Main Street and just make it one way, you know what I mean? Just make it one way. So there is the drive, which I think that can work. I don't know, though. I'm not the professional on that, of doing that.
It can work. To me, it would be more of a safety concern with that, you know, you're gonna have a substantial drop off on that side that you're gonna be
Right,
redoing. And you're gonna have traffic basically less than
right there, yes.
2
right
feet
there.
away from
Yes.
that. That, to me, that would be my biggest thing with that would be the safety concern
Right,
with that. I'm not saying it can't be done,
right.
but
And
that would be,
That was all brought up too.
Yeah.
A lot of people go down there and where's that one tire? It's on that grate. Most of the way,
Yeah.
most of the way down through there.
I mean, if you did that, to me, the thing, and I know the merchants wouldn't like to hear that, but what you could do is take parking away on the side that the traffic is on,
Right,
because then they could scoot over a little bit, you know, maybe. But they obviously can't park on the other side, so now you don't have parking at
Parking,
all.
right, right.
So,
We have 50 more spaces than we had before, but we have more
Exactly.
active restaurants where people are
Right.
staying longer now too.
Right,
So
and that was brought up in my conversation with ES2. He says you have all these parking lots now that you didn't have
you didn't have
before
those.
either, so
I,
it's tough. It's gonna be a hard way to have it done, no matter how you do it. No matter which one you pick too, I really think the time frame of it'll be a little bit different, but I don't think it's gonna be a lot different no matter what you put back down.
and these estimates are pure construction costs, so realize as we put more restrictions, because within that bid, we'll also be asking for restrictions on the time that they can be there.
Right.
We don't want to shut down when the busier strolls or during Christmas time, you know, shopping, those type of things. And if we do one side of the street, require them to do one side instead of both at the same time, which I'm in favor of, by the way, of shutting just one side down at a time or one lane down at a time. If we
Right.
can make that happen
Make it happen.
from a safety, I think if we can make it happen. I favor that, but these, as you put more restrictions on a contractor, their prices
Goes up.
go up. So what we see here are pure labor, material type construction costs. You'll need to add because of the restricted times and those type of considerations to the bid. So don't get surprised, whatever we choose today,
Right.
that it's gonna come back higher.
Right.
Cause the engineer is just based it upon material and labor.
I talked to VS also a couple times, and I was kind of ended up with the same thing. Gary, I kind of switched. And I went also, after talking to him, to the concrete under all the favors, was for the reason of, number one with him was design life, and then number two was maintenance in the long term. And the maintenance in the long term, he thought would probably make up a lot of what we're looking at, the difference of these other projects. So I flip-flopped a little myself from paving to this, to the concrete under the pavers.
I don't know where I'm at. I put it on don't till we vote.
And that's,
Yeah.
I understand that.
I
mean,
kinda
and-
do, you
Yeah.
know, and we do have a council member here, but realize that, anything that we do, from financing this is gonna be a council decision on how
Right.
much money
Right.
they wanna put or can put towards that. And so we have to look at those options and, with consultation with the clerk's office of what could be available. Like I said, I mean, I have the cash funds here in front of me as of, they're actually quarterly reports, so it's through March 31st, but those accounts haven't really been touched. The other thing we have to look at when we hit those cash accounts is what method do we have to put money back into it? And, so, you know, we can't use park funds for streets. We can't use utility funds for streets. You know, there's a lot of things that are, they're restricted uses as far as what comes in, what we're allowed to do. So, streets, unfortunately, I think there's two ways. Let's just, because of the restrictions of funds and the fact that we cannot use funds, state funds and street funds for brick streets, I'm more of the, probably have changed flip-flop from where I was a month ago, and the fact that I'm probably more on Curly and Carrie's thinking right now that if we can swing the money now, now's the time to do it
Right.
before it gets up there, because in the future, those funds are even gonna be less probably, you know, because without gas taxes are going down, you know, we're several thousand below where we were a couple years ago. Our really state funding this year was 1.3 million less than our last funding year. We got 171,000 versus 1.45 million is almost 1.5 was, and we're seeing a reduction in some of that. And we'll have to make it up locally, and there'll be other avenues, and there's some legislation that may change that. But I don't see that happening for a couple of years, just because it's a 2-year budget cycle that the state's on. So we're kind of stuck with some of that for a couple of years.
I mean, one thing to remember too, you know, with going with the option that you guys are talking about, and just for the record, I don't care on any of them. I mean, I'm fine with either way, any way you guys decide to go, but if you do go back with the brick, like what the mayor said with the community crossings grant, it's still gonna be brick, so you're never gonna be able to apply for community crossing on there. If you do go concrete or you do asphalt, and 20 years from now, and that's saying the community crossings is still around, which nobody can forecast that. But if it is, then you would be able to apply for it. I'm just throwing that out there.
Are there any concerns, or have we heard any concerns? Because I did hear a couple concerns about loss of business and how devastating that could be. We know statewide, nationwide right now, retail sales are down, have been down for 2 years. So as a rule, it's not just here locally. What feedback you got from folks on that?
Well, that was the biggest concern, I think. I mean, you're gonna shut the street down. It's gonna definitely affect them. There is no doubt about it. And things are slow, very slow right now from what I'm hearing and seeing. And I don't know, that's just something, that's why I would really like to try to do it one lane at a time. At least maybe we could keep one open and keep people moving on 4th Street a little bit, but like I said, can we do that or can't we do that? That's just gonna be something we'll have to.
I think
look
it
at.
can be done. It's just a matter of,
Yeah,
It's gonna be a different set of equipment to be able to fit the small
Right,
space and that
yeah.
type of thing. I mean,
I think there too, we'd have to see the cost difference.
yeah. Yeah, because
You
Can
can
you-
see
just trying to-
concrete without pavers.
What-
Is the aesthetics what is driving the?
I
concrete?
think in the long run, it's just gonna look awful, Phil. I really do. 'Cause concrete's gonna crack and then you're gonna have it sealed and all kinds of stuff like that. I just don't think that's the way to go.
We got all stains to worry about and
You know,
patching.
yeah.
We'll never patch it back.
If you have a utility problem and you cut it and put it back, it's gonna look totally different than what's up there. I just think we're better off doing the concrete under and
Well, I think until our meeting with the engineer, I feel the same way as Gary and Curly, that I was for concrete a month ago, but you know, I'm for now after our meeting, talking with them, I'm for putting concrete under and putting the brick back because for two reasons. One, they said after, several years, you can flip them brick over. So I know we're gonna have the upfront cost first, but I think the concrete under the brick is gonna last even longer than just plain concrete. And number two was when you have a utility cut, you know, you can pour that concrete back, put that thin layer of rock and put your brick back, you'll never see it. You'll never see a utility cut, so. So I'm kinda on the same page as. I just know it's a lot of money up front, but
Well,
I think by the time, if we get this project done, by the time it needs anything else, we're all gonna be gone.
50-year life.
I say we got a $40 to $50 million wastewater project that we had less discussion on than we did this project. And, because it, this doesn't impact, this is not impacting the city's budget as much as it's impacting the budget of the merchants
Absolutely.
on Fourth Street
Absolutely.
and everything. So that's gotta be, and I got different answers as I talk to people, different ideas and,
And I felt that too, you know.
so, we're trying to do best. The street is there and the parking is there for the merchants. It's not, it's not a thoroughfare that's taking traffic from one point to other. It is a destination. So, that's what our biggest consideration needs to be. It's not gonna be like a Chestnut Street that gets people from one side of the town to the other. And that's why we can do those projects with a lot less discussion than what we have. So whatever we do, is not just for the merchants, but for those people that like to do business on Fourth Street,
Right.
such as myself. I want to go down there and be able to shop and buy food and do what I want to do in that area too. So it's important
Well, if we,
to everybody.
by fixing the street, we can bring the parade and stuff back. I mean, it's in such bad shape now, they don't wanna put the parade and stuff on there. You know, we get it fixed, we don't have to worry about people tripping, we can
Yeah.
fully utilize it again.
We're probably looking at a aggressive timeline would be doing it in 2027, probably this time of year. Would be, by the time we get the engineering done, the bids let out, working with the council and trying to get the funds put together for that. And we don't want to do it February, January, February, March. April and May are busy transition times with events on Fourth Street, as you can see, you've approved here, that are important to the merchants, such as the Daffodil Stroll and, the Jazz Festival and some of the other things that happened during that period. That it'd be very important. It'd be nice if we had a calendar, a lockout calendar here set up soon, within the next couple of months, because we'll have to put that in the bid package too.
Well, I think it'd be nice to keep the merchants in the loop too, cause they're gonna have to prepare for a, little bit of slower time.
Yeah, may not have the Qantas Car Show in June next year, so, those type of things. So there are, a lot of considerations. All right. Just waiting here on a motion.
I'll make it concrete under the pavers.
Okay, we call that, what option number is that?
What
Two, I
option was
think.
that?
This one's got number two.
So,
Estimated cost is $692.
so, alternative number 2, we got a first, and
I'll
we have,
second it.
we have a second by Dustin. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Anything else for me?
Got any money I can borrow?
Sit down.
We can do that.
It really concerns me with the merchants. It really does. I feel for them.
Yes.
It's gonna be
Maybe
hard.
we can have a rummage sale.
It's gonna be very hard on them.
Yeah, nothing, I mean.
All right. Well, I'm
anyway,
thinking of a
it's gonna
couple
be-
options, so we'll look at it.
Really is.
All right,
It really
next
is.
on the agenda, that was actually went better than I thought. We have wastewater superintendent Brad Coomer.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Brad.
Any questions on the report?
Reminder that there's a update meeting 10 today,
Progress meeting.
progress meeting. Yeah.
Did we start up?
We did Monday. After 7 years of design and build and everything, we went online Monday. Our new permit, it ended for the old plant on the 31st. So last week with all the rain and everything, we was in contact with IDEM because our lagoons were full, everything. And last Thursday when I was talking to them, they said Monday, that old plant does not exist. So we had pumps come in and everything like that. So Monday morning, we had a 12-inch pump and 4 4-inch pumps, and we took everything from 4 tanks and sent it over to the new plant. We did not discharge Monday. Tuesday, we did discharge. And then Wednesday, we had all our final results and we met everything in our permit. Even lower than the last one was running out of the old plant. So as of now, knock on wood, the plant is running perfectly fine.
Limited issues?
No issues. There's been some alarms,
Yeah.
some sensors. We had some bad sensors, some bad bulbs and stuff like that, which I'm sure is going to pop up. But luckily we had a service, IT service out of Carmel, called Wright Technical Sources. You may have seen a bill for that, that allows us to get in and to operate this myself and where I can cancel alarms. So the other night, I think we had about 112 alarms go off from 10 o'clock until the morning. I think 28 of them slipped through that I couldn't acknowledge through the night, and they called our dispatch. So there was a lot of concerns about why there were so many calls, and it was some sensors and stuff like that. But for the most part, everything is running perfectly fine right now.
Very nice.
One thing from a communication standpoint, software standpoint, this plant runs completely separate of the city for protection of our own system. Water and wastewater plants are normally being attacked, but we feel really good about the plan that was put together by those that designed it. Our insurance company, our cyber insurance company is very happy with what they've seen. But it's been a real pain and a stress point for Brad and those that are involved in it to try to put this together and make it work. But it makes it sound real simple that it was up and running, but there was a lot of work behind the scenes. And the fact that we ran at 118% capacity last month, that would have been a 40% with the new plant
Yeah, I think
probably.
we're about 17%.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
if you guys want to come down, check it out. There's a lot going on down there now. There's still a lot of construction, stuff like that, but
Absolutely. Go down. I was down there a few weeks ago and it's very impressive. It's very impressive.
yes. I think it's the second largest in the Midwest. The other biggest one's is Oklahoma, but it's definitely the tallest for sure. Parks. But yeah, there's a lot of people calling and checking in. We did have 4 tours last month come in. Jasper, Midwest Engineering came in, they're looking at it. The Alliance of Indiana came over, they were really impressed, and several other people came in to tour it, and I'm sure that's going to be, we'll be bringing in a lot of people, I'm sure, especially Parkson, who has equipment in there, so they want to show it off, so that'll be a big hit coming through.
Thank you very much for all your work on that. It's very stressful. I know it was. If you're down there and see it, it's quite the operation. I just don't see how all that logistics gets put together to do something like that. That's incredible.
It is pretty wild, so.
Yeah.
Is there a plan to have a dedication or an open house sometime?
We will do. We have a lot more. We got a centrifuge building, which is underway. They're doing rough in and doing some pits now. Hopefully next week they can start filling in and pour the floor. But the centrifuge probably won't be delivered until fourth quarter this year, maybe the first quarter next year. So we'll have to sit down and decide if we want to do ribbon cutting or something before that's all done or what. I would make sure we get all the paving and everything done.
yeah, we want there's a lot of site work has to be done before we show it off. If you've been down there, it's still a construction site, so.
And we are
50+ years
working.
in the making.
Yeah, we are working on a mural. We'll be sending some letters out for funding, possibly some donations, do a big mural on the top part of it. So when people see the park or maybe people leave the park, they can look across and be a nice mural to look over there.
Thank you for your work, Brad. I appreciate it.
Any other
It's tough
questions?
enough running a plant with construction going on too,
Yes.
so. All right.
Good.
All right. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Police Chief Brad Kramer.
Morning.
Good morning.
Any questions on the report?
There we go.
No questions?
No.
All right. May 22nd, Logan and Jake, Logan Brown, Jake Bagley, they graduated the academy. They're back. Jake has a few more weeks of training that he has to go through, before he'll be on the road by himself. Once that happens, then we'll be full staff across the board. So, but, we did run a reserve process for reserve officers. We've completed that. We've got 6 now, and I've got a recommendation for 4. There's Stacia Landstrom. She's going through training right now with Tell City PD to be a reserve down there. She lives in our community, wants to serve here as well. The next one is Patrick Sierra, lives here, has an interest in law enforcement, wants to serve here as well. Jose Calderon grew up here. He lives just outside of town now. Same thing. He's got a potential of being hired, full-time and this is the step for him to figure that out. If he wants to change career paths later on, once he gets his feet wet with it. And then the last one would be Brody Kramer. He's still in college. Once his major is for law enforcement, and once he graduates, he could become a potential full-time hire as well. So 3 of them could be, 1 of them cannot be just because of the age aspect, with our perf. So, but yeah, that's if we have any openings or if we grow, we could potentially pull from there to get a full-time hire. So.
I think now's a good time for me. I say it all the time, but I'll say it again. Both of our chiefs were the envy of a lot of communities in southern Indiana. The fact that we're fully staffed in our police force and in our fire, and a lot of that is because of the ability to bring on reserves, to have contact with some of the younger people that have desire to be police officers or firefighters. And both of our chiefs have been very engaging in the community and with the young people and bringing those people along. And that's been a big part of it. And it's really made everybody's job easier. So
It's been a lot
Just,
easier transitioning.
that still keeps us about 5 short on the reserves of what we could have,
Yeah.
but we're probably at
We have a
10.
max of 15 ability. This will bring us up to 10. So we've got more and more requests for events and stuff like that. And I really don't want to burn out the 6 that we have. So if we can add these 4 and try to spread that workload across the board and maybe keep them around. The ones we have, we can't bring them on full time because of their age. They're older than what the perf cutoff is. And some of them are actually retired law enforcement. So, but yeah,
Just so the board knows, these are volunteer positions that are not paid.
correct.
We do equipment,
Yeah,
but there's no salary.
yeah, there is a fund there available that I would be able to get equipment for them, without having to go through the physical budget. So,
That gives them vests and everything. So
mhm.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the 4 new.
Motion made.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right.
And the
Motion
last thing
carries.
I've got is just to let you guys know, I did put out on our Facebook page the Citizens Firearms course, the safety course. It's July 23rd, 6 PM to 9 PM at the office. That'll be a classroom session. And then the second day of that is gonna be July 25th, 8 to 12, and that'll be at the range. It's strictly pistol. We do have requirements on there, what they must bring and stuff like that, but we'll provide water and stuff like that, so.
Have
Just
the
in case.
requests been filled or the spots?
What's that?
Have the spots been filled?
Yeah, so I'm keeping a running list. The first course I'll go through and, call the people that signed up. And then if they can't make it, then I'll move down, but they'll stay on the list. So for the next course. And just mark them off as they complete it. That way I don't call them twice, but. So. But, yep, hopefully that'll be successful.
All right, thank you.
Hopefully I'll have more information in August on that one, so. And hopefully set another date, probably around that time as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. Fire Chief, Don Heim.
Are there any questions on the report? We are down a little bit,
Yeah.
of runs compared to last year, so knock on wood, we like that. Still over what our average is, but better than last year, so that's a good thing.
Down a little in EMS too, slightly, just a little. Yeah, good.
Are there any questions before I do have some requests here?
Yeah, can you elaborate a little bit on the vehicle acquisition? and
Yeah, so
apparatus exchange?
that was the first thing. The department has been offered, funding through an agreement with AES. And the department is asking that in that agreement, there would be an addition to the fleet, which would be a pickup truck that is like it's going to be, it's a medical truck. It's going to be exactly like we currently have. But we will be able to put it on the north side of the tracks. Even though we have that overpass, we've seen what happens when the train does stop. And in a medical emergency, we want to be able to respond as quickly as we can. So that would open up a faster response to the north side of town for medical emergencies. So the truck would be funded, but the department asked that the board accept the liability, the insurance, and the maintenance and the upkeep of that truck, because it is an addition to the fleet. So that's the first request that I have. Phil, does this need to be in one or three? Or
I would take them one at a time.
Okay.
But we might preface the second part of this. And I guess I can help you out here. Based on that settlement agreement with AES, they're also willing to fund the acquisition of a pumper truck to replace the oldest pumper truck in the fleet. The oldest pumper truck in the fleet happens to be owned by, actually, technically Patoka Township, and it's available to the city and to Patoka. But in order to replace the older one, the city, Don is recommending that you authorize the city to exchange its pumper truck, which is a 34-year-old pumper truck, with Patoka Township's, which is a 35-year-old pumper truck. So we could use the older truck as a salvage trade in acquiring the new one. So we want to get rid of the oldest truck, and that oldest truck is currently owned by Patoka Township. Patoka Township has approved the exchange.
They had their meeting last week, and they said they would be willing to do that. And then we would just trade, and then whenever the salvage part comes, we would get rid of that truck.
It isn't just the oldest, it's the one that's in the worst condition.
It is in the worst condition.
That's
Absolutely it is.
It's not gonna be safe to use.
When you get a truck when you hit 30 years with a truck, it's just, I mean, things go wrong. And some of our fleet is old, but fortunately, a lot of our fleet, you know, this helps our fleet stay young.
So would Patoka sell that truck then, or
It
would
would
we
just
sell?
be an exchange. Units of government can exchange property on any terms that they agree to.
So it'd just be a flat trade.
And they would end up having a better unit.
And what would happen to the old truck then? I guess is that.
That would be a salvage.
Salvage trade.
Trade is, or
Yeah.
sold to salvage, either trade or sold to salvage to apply against the cost of the new truck.
Okay.
And it's, these two vehicles will be funded totally by AES, so there'll be no city funds involved. And quoting process, even though it exceeds $150,000, the quoting process is acceptable because we're not using city funds to purchase these vehicles.
We would have to carry insurance, but we wouldn't have to carry the maintenance of an older truck either. So pretty much that becomes a wash. So,
What motion needs to be made first?
Well, I think probably we ought to take it one at a time and authorize the acquisition and acceptance into the fleet of the emergency response pickup vehicle.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Second motion to authorize the exchange of the city's 34-year-old reserve pumper for the township's 35-year-old reserve pumper, and to authorize trade or salvage of that in exchange for acquisition of a new pumper truck be funded by AES.
Motion made.
I'll second.
Got a first and second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, that motion carries. Thank you. And, yeah, and really the thought pattern came through that, you know, I just asked the chief, I said, if some emergency occurs out in that area, what truck are you taking? What's the best truck to take? And we decided that we didn't have a best truck, so to speak, from the township, and that needed to be the one that was going to be replaced, so.
Have you done anything with the pumper ordering yet or anything like that?
We've just got specs together and are trying to we got people that are interested. We have to have at least three quotes. And so I think we'll have 4, possibly 5 quotes, to choose from.
Have any of them give you a time frame?
We told them basically 21 days. So they got 2 more weeks from today.
No, for delivery.
For delivery.
Yeah.
It ranges anywhere. There's a company out there that I don't know how they can do it, but they can get it, and they do 180 days.
Really?
Because it's a commercial chassis. It's not a custom. When you get into the customs, it becomes much longer. And then it goes all the way up to about 14 to 16 months. So
It's better than I thought it would be.
it is.
Yeah.
Like I said, when you get into the custom chassis, then it turns into 2 to 3 years. Ladder trucks are 3 to 4 years. So.
Yeah, the caveat is we do have to receive at least 3 quotes on these pieces of equipment, and we must award it purchase from the lowest responsible responsive quote.
Even with no city funds?
Well, this is in the.
This is
agreement.
their term.
Oh, they're
In order to
requiring.
fund it, they're requiring this.
They're requiring, we subtract the scrap value or trade-in value of the truck too. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? All right, thank you, Chief. Planning Director Paul Lake. First time some of us have seen you in a while, but welcome back. It's good to have you. I've seen you over the last couple of weeks, but
Good morning.
great having you here. Morning.
Any questions on the reports?
Miller. Yeah, I don't know, we'll have a year like we had last year in building permits, but, it is, I added up the other day that we had almost $90 million in construction activity going on between the plants and the wastewater plant and the apartments on the north side and the OFS expansion and
Yeah.
the school expansion and everything else that's happening. So, it's been a busy, 12 months.
Right, and going forward, Hunter's Crossing, it's built out. So what we're seeing now is any new single-family residential construction are usually on individually privately owned lots or parcels, so. And there are not quite as many of those available inside the city. And with the economy where it's at right now, I think some people that were looking at doing it have kind of taken a wait and see approach, see what happens. So, no other questions? Happy to be able to stand here and say good morning to you again.
Welcome back. Safety Director, Andrea Brown.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Did just get our cybersecurity renewal yesterday. I got that invoice and I got the new policy and we only had a $1,500 increase in premium. So they said that was very good considering all of the cyber attacks and things that are happening now. So especially with adding the wastewater project and different things on there. So,
Indiana's number 4 in the country in cyber attacks on not-for-profits and
yeah.
Hospitals and municipalities usually.
Any questions on anything else?
Well, this brings up another point. You completed the air quality test, street department, everything came back
Yeah.
clear. Just to let everybody know that we did sign the notice to proceed for the roofing contractor here. We're waiting for their half the contract to come back so I can supply it to Tom and Phil. But,
There are still parts in there that need to be cut out, like the, I guess plywood on top. What do you call that? The attic space, Jason?
Yes.
In the attic space, there are where the water dripped, but obviously we're not cutting that out yet. And leaving a hole up there if they're gonna be working up there or whatever. So, but it is safe. They fogged it all and put some kind of special stuff on there. So until we get the roof fixed, but once that comes out, then we'll take all of that. Anything affected, we'll take all of that out. And, but right now the air quality is.
there's $300,000 budgeted towards the, that project, 250, but there's no contingencies in that 250. So, but some of that could be used to do the work inside. Street department is, skilled enough that those are things that they can do to, some of that work. So
What kind of time frame are they thinking on replacing that roof into the summer?
it's not, it's within 30 days. So yeah, we're waiting on their bonds and those kind of things,
So it
that
could be
have.
done by 1st of July then, potentially.
Well,
No.
We don't have all the paperwork.
Okay.
I
No,
mean, by the time we get contracts signed and all that stuff, yeah, I would think the earliest would be maybe August 1st. I would realistically maybe shoot for the end of August.
they were hoping to do it during the month of July.
Yeah.
But it's going to take, what, Phil, a couple weeks to hear back from the bonding company probably on that. And so,
That'll work out good, cause then you guys can redo the inside when the weather's nasty over winter.
yeah, that material is ordered per specs for that particular building, so they won't come in standard size. They try to cut down on seams by having larger pieces of material. Well, went through 6.5 inches of rain last month, so, we've gone through the worst part, I guess, of wetness. So
Any other questions?
I have nothing.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
We have City Attorney Phil Schneider, Clerk Treasurer, we have the USDA budget.
Yes, so Tom has this annual budget that is required by the USDA for the wastewater project. So there just needs to be a motion of approval.
based upon, past operating experience and future, pro forma estimates.
Tom and I to go through it.
I make a motion to accept.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? All right. Thank you. Any other items? We don't have any citizens left here. I guess we have one acting as a citizen over here off to the side, so, okay, any board items? All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion made.
I'll second that one.
Go first, second, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Same side. Thank you. 9:35.